So I'm sitting here in my apartment, about to hop into this call to present to the freaking UN, and I don't know, it feels a little surreal. Just a couple months ago, I felt like I was so uncertain about where this phase of my life was going, what I wanted to do, what I'm building towards. I know I'm making content, but that's not the only thing I want to do, right? I've got other goals, I've got other dreams and ambitions, but I didn't and still really don't have like a tight, concrete, super tight plan about how I'm going to make that happen. And to just see an early proof point into what this life could possibly look like for me, to be speaking on not just any stage, but literally the United Nations. I'm gonna have hundreds of people from all over the world, every single part of the UN hopping on this call, to hear me speak about a topic that I'm very passionate about. Is something that if you would have told me a couple months ago, certainly a year ago, was possible, I just wouldn't have believed you. So I don't know, for most of the people watching this, you probably have no desire at all to speak to the United Nations or anybody on a large scale, but whatever that is for you, whatever you have in your life, whatever ideas you may think are too far away or too crazy, just freaking go for it. Just go for it. Because you have no idea what you're qualified to do. You have no idea what you're capable of until you go out there and start testing the waters and putting yourself up for opportunities and following up and following back and staying on top of people and just doing whatever you think you need to do in order to get to the life that you're ultimately building for yourself. Started out consulting, then I went to help build a startup, and then I went to be an advertising account executive. And so in all of these paths and all of these hops, as you're going to see, I was essentially using what I learned in a previous job to help me excel at the next one. What is the 10% quarter turn initiative that I can prove out to then begin to share, so you can get to the 30% solution, the 50% solution, and then start to turn it on in levels. It's not, sometimes it's not turning the page, you just have to make a little dog ear, right, and sort of come back to it. And so I think that's a good way of framing it. We're headed to the Bronx Zoo. We actually have a good friend of ours that works there. She hooked us up with some tickets. And so Kaylee's driving. We got the baby back here sleeping at some point.
He's wide awake.
He's wide awake? Okay. Well, that's all right. It'll be his first time seeing, I don't know, animals, zebras, lions, maybe. I don't know what they have at the zoo. Maybe some monkeys, some dogs, some rats, maybe, probably. I guess you don't want to go out of your way to create new patterns of behavior to meet people that then it'll feel like a stretch to do. You want to make sure you're going about it organically.
I like to move it. I like to move it. I like to move it. I like to move it.
So next week, I'm actually going to LA for a conference, which I'm super excited about. So I just hopped off a call with the agency that invited me there, going over the type of content I'll need to create, the hotel I'm staying at, flying out there first class, staying at the Ritz in LA. I'm super excited. I probably shouldn't be saying this right next to my wife. We'll have to be at home with the baby all week, but hey, I'm going to be in LA. I think this is another example of something that's so cool that would be absolutely near impossible with a job. Like, I'd have used up all my PTO, you know, it just wouldn't be possible. So super, super grateful that I'm not at a point in my life where I can spend a week basically in another city working, yes, but doing so, you know, in a way that really lights me up and makes me excited. Happy Friday. So one of my good friends in the city, Janelle Tieves, who's actually the Chief Commercial Officer of Bugaboo, they're actually launching a new product today, and she invited me to come check it out. So I've got a very dad fit on today, but I'm gonna stop by that event, check out that new stroller, and then I've got some other conversations spread out through the day and some work to do. This event is a good reminder to always show up for your friends. If your friend is running the marathon for a charity, donate to the charity. If your friend is launching a new stroller at their company, show up to the launch event, right? I have a baby, but do I need a stroller? No. Do I have anything from this company? No. Am I interested? Yes. But also, am I interested in supporting my friend doing something, you know, that they're incredibly good at that's going to be a really big thing? Of course. If you have anyone in your life, I mean, life is hard. It's hard to do things, especially if you're trying to do something new or innovative or trying to launch something. I mean, it's really tough to get stuff like this off the ground. So it's really important, you know, for you and for everyone else in your life. I mean, I'm blessed with good enough friends that support me and the things I do. So I try to pay that forward wherever I can, whenever I can. Today is actually, well, this weekend is actually the last weekend before Kaylee goes back to work from her maternity leave. How are you feeling about that?
I have mixed emotions about it. I'm excited to get back to like being a professional and like contributing to the workplace, but I'm sad to be leaving this little man. I do think that going back to work is going to make the time I spend with him more special because it's limited. It's like limited resources, you know. So I am excited about like what that's going to do to the time I do spend with him and the relationship that we can build based on like that time.
I think so too. I think that at the end of the day, I feel like he'll miss you and he'll miss me more.
Definitely.
With us, like, out of the house.
And we'll miss him more.
Yeah.
And it's gonna like make that when you can't get to something as readily and like as quickly, it makes it more valuable and you treasure that time together a bit more.
So the plan was to get a little outdoor workout in Sheep Meadow, but Sheep Meadow is crazy busy, as it should be, because the weather's amazing right now. So we're walking through the park, got the baby back there, and trying to find a little patch of flat grass to get a little workout in.